Hey there, my little Christmas Kringles, and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be doing a holiday gift list, which I've never done before, and I'm really excited about. I'm actually a little too excited about it because I got excited about the concept and then I overthought it, and then I didn't actually get around to doing it in time to probably be helpful because I was knocking things over because I was too focused on making it perfect, and ultimately that was my doom, which is kind of the story of my life and the story of this video, and the fact that a lot of these things it might be too late to get. But I want to believe that because everything is, I don't know if you've heard, a little weird this year, people are going to be more patient about when their gifts arrive, because for one thing, most of us are not physically seeing people we're giving gifts to, or certainly not everyone we're giving gifts to. And also, the post office and everything is so overloaded right now that there's, a good chance that even like regularly scheduled things might not get there on time. So if people are cool with a little flexibility with when things are delivered, then maybe this is okay. I'm going to start off with one category that's particularly relevant to, but I just really wanted to mention, which is several independent artists I really, really love, and I just ask that you not necessarily expect them to be able to deliver things by Christmas just because I made a video and said that they make good Christmas presents, because small business owners and artists are trying their best, and there's a lot of things out of people's control right now with when things arrive. I still definitely wanted to shout them out. The first one is the lovely Canadian Heather Buchanan. I've talked about her on my channel a few times, like for years now, because I first found out about her in like 2015 or 2016. I love this woman. She's an incredible artist. She does amazing watercolor portraits and pop culture puns. Oh, beautiful watercolor art, pop culture puns. I mean, it's a perfect storm of making me, I almost said something very gross. Of making me feel. And I think she'd be okay with the thing that I'm totally not going to say, but was so gross what I was almost going to say, because she is particularly, her sense of humor is amazing. She, on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, she made her, I wonder if YouTube's going to be mad at me for saying this, she made her discount code for her website. Black Friday, Cyber Monday always gets abbreviated to BFCM. She has just noticed that kind of sounds like beef cum. And so she made her discount code beef cum. And she's a delight and an incredible artist. She makes cards, she does portraits, she's so great. I've gotten her work as gifts for people several times, and I've also purchased it for myself. This year I'm not going to be getting art from a couple of these artists because I already have some. Getting frames for myself for Christmas. That's another great point. If you care about when things are delivered or given, like on Christmas Day. I'm also a child of divorce and a divorced parent, so I'm like, is Christmas on December 25th? Who's to say? You get 2 Christmases and they can be on whatever day your parents have custody. Anyway, if December 25th matters to you, and so you don't want to risk these as gifts for other people, you can always get them as gifts for yourself and support some really incredible artists at a time when everything is balls. So yes, definitely check out Heather Buchanan. She is a source of good and light and all things holy and beef cum. So check her out. Next up, JP Brammer. I've also talked about him on my channel a few times. I found him because he's funny on Twitter, and now I fangirl over him so hard just because of his mind. I signed up for his newsletter called Hola Papi, and last week he sent one out that was called like rating the top 5 rat movies I made up last week. And he had written little synopses of different rat movies last week, and he rated them, and he gave them what he thought their Rotten Tomatoes score would be, and it was so funny. No spoilers, but like one was called Rats with a Z, and it was like brats, and it was like little rat dolls that wear trash. I love him. And in addition to being a gifted writer, and I don't even mean that sarcastically about rap movies, he's actually a brilliant writer, and he has an advice column. That's what Hola Papi's normally an advice column for the LGBTQ plus community, and then it's sometimes a system of reviewing rap movies. I'm sorry that I think that's so funny that I can't speak. I've gotten really genuinely helpful advice from his column. In particular, he did one about his process of kind of letting go of perfection in trying to develop his creative process in a way that like clicked for me that nothing ever had before, and it like genuinely made my life better. So excellent writing and an incredible illustrator. He has beautiful, beautiful artwork on his website. He makes clothes sometimes. My bird shirt that I've worn a number of times is from him. And for our birthdays, my sister and I were a day apart, and we got each other prints from his site that are beautiful, and I'm excited to frame, so definitely check out his work. It's so beautiful. It's so, so beautiful. And another artist who I have not purchased from yet, but I've been checking out for a while and like had in my cart for a while, and I'm really excited to buy a bunch of pins from her, is Lisa Boogie, and she's actually an incredible dancer, and that's how I first found out about her, that I just sort of like creep on Instagram. She's so talented. She also has an Etsy shop, and she does really, really cool bleached clothing items and pins made from like Shrinky Dinks, and she does like Sade and Whitney Houston and Janet Jackson. It's just a lot of really cool stuff. All right, moving on. So I have one expensive kind of tech item that I'm only mentioning because it's so important to me personally. If I ever did one of those like top 10 things I can't live without, it would absolutely be on that list. And I'm tempted to just like do a bunch of audio related things because I'm obsessed with listening to music in ways that are good. Anyway, I'm mentioning it because I love it so much and I use it so much, but also because I've noticed in the last couple weeks it's been having really good sales, like the best sales that I've ever seen on it, probably because it's a couple years old now, so I would imagine there will be newer versions coming out. I should probably just say what the thing is. It's these Sony headphones, the Sony, what's the actual name? It's like WHX1000. Is that actually it? It's those letters and numbers. I'm just not positive that they're in that order. I love these headphones. Oh, WH1000X M3. Okay, so I left off part of it. These are incredible, glorious, beautiful headphones. I did a ton of research when I bought them, and it was between these and the Bose Quiet Comfort 35 Mark II or something like that. Those are having an even steeper discount right now, and it was kind of a toss-up because they're really comparable in quality, but at the time I just went with these, and I can't totally remember. I think part of it was the aesthetic of them I prefer to the Bose ones, which I think are a little bit ugly. And then I just preferred the sound a little bit on these. I love these headphones. I know, I was just gonna say the Bose Quiet Comfort ones, I think they have either already released the new version or they're about to, but it's been a couple years, so they're due. But even if they come out with new ones, like unless they did something crazy and like a huge technology jump, I'm probably not gonna buy replacements for these for a long time. I've already had them for a long time, and I use them constantly, and there's no need to replace them. But the retail price is $350. Occasionally they go on sale for like $320 or $300 is like the best sale I've seen, like $299. I want to say that's what I bought these during a sale, and I think it was for $299, but they're actually $279 over the last couple weeks, like off and on as the sales are going. So if you're interested in getting some really nice headphones because you need to escape from the world and be in a cocoon a cocoon of magical music, this is the place to go, and this is the best price. And I'm saying this like it's for you, but I guess this is a gift list. You also count for gifts. Or if you love someone enough to spend $300 potentially on a present for them and are able to do so, and they love sound, might be worth considering. I now have some items specifically for kitchen lovers of preparing food, or people like me who just love to eat food and are forced to prepare it sometimes and want to do it well. My brother messaged me a few weeks ago, and I've talked about him a number of times. He was in a video, he's a chef, And he messaged me and was like, do you want your Christmas present early? And I was like, obviously, yes. And so he bought me a PDF of this book called The Food Lab by Kenji Lopez-Alt. And it is a game changer. I've told so many people about it. It's such an amazing book. So the tagline or whatever it's called for the book is something about like science and food and science and cooking. It's so brilliant. Each recipe is kind of like a template for understanding a skill. And I'm no slouch in the kitchen, and I'm a Virgo, and I grew up in a family of people that take food very seriously. So I'm not always like, I'm not like a super beginner basically. But this book is so helpful. It's just an amazing book. The recipes are insane, and then the information contained within them is wonderful. It's a favorite. It's a favorite forever. I'm going to use it all the time. You can get it in a hardcover version, or you can get the PDF. He sent me the PDF, and because I have that now, you can search within it, which is really nice. This next one is not a new item by any means, even though it has the word new in the title. The New Best Recipe from Cooks Illustrated. It came out in 2004, and it was a new edition of a book that came out in 99, which was just called The Best Recipe. And I actually believe, I might be completely wrong when I'm saying this, but let's find out. I believe Kenji, the author of The Food Lab, was actually affiliated or like one of the people doing the testing for Cooks Illustrated. Anyway, Cooks Illustrated basically had this incredible test kitchen where they just went through a ton of different types of recipes and figured out what is the best one, and they tested everything, and it's very satisfying, and it's really informative. It's a great kind of staple in the kitchen. I use it as a reference point for a lot of types of things if I'm going to cook them, and it's really never steered me wrong, and I just love science, and I love science-based information for Christmas. And one last kitchen item, a Dutch oven, and I'll link the one that I have. I bought this for myself during the bread phase of quarantine, and I used it like 2 whole times to make bread, but I have used it to cook a bunch of other things. It's a great versatile item. It's pretty, it's nice, it's easier to clean than a regular cast iron skillet or a pot. I made a soup from the recipe in the book The Food Lab for a like Parmesan broccoli puree that was just, it was dreamy, and I made it in that because it's a nice size. And then there's a couple really important items I wanted to mention because they just really speak to me. And one is I was looking for octopus rings on Etsy, and I wish I wasn't laughing right now, and it suggested to me not an octopus ring, but just sort of like a weird acrylic statue of an octopus giving the finger. I can't stop thinking about it. There's like a small size and a big size. It's like you can get a shiny metallic one or a rainbow one. You can get one with a little monocle and a top hat giving you the finger. And I dream about it. I dream of owning it. It's also not expensive, but I'm in love with that octopus giving the finger. I like the jaunty one with the, and I think people should buy it as gifts for me or anyone that has that energy, that they would want to adorn their home with an octopus giving the finger wearing a monocle and a top hat. I also saw a Chia pet of the child from the Mandalorian at Rite Aid the other day, and I want it, and so I assume other people want it too, and therefore it is also on this gift list. Oh, and I don't have a specific thing in mind right now, but looking at this, I'm thinking another great gift, always, is merch from someone's favorite artist, especially if they're indie artists. These are my Anderson .Paak coasters that I love so much. They're based off of the art that he used to have on his Instagram that's super awesome. If you're struggling to come up with an idea for a gift for someone, if that person likes music, which I mean, most people like some kind, getting merch directly from that artist is a great way to support them, especially because a lot of artists, especially indie artists, musical artists, are losing a ton of money right now for not being able to perform regularly, etc. I think that's it. if you would like to hear some advice, if you don't want to hear my advice, then go blah, 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 or turn down the volume. That's probably a more efficient way to do it. I just wanted to say one thing, which is really just that I hope we can all kind of focus on the sweetness of this time of year. It's so loaded. There's like a lot of different ways to feel right now, and they're all valid. But there's a sweetness in this moment, and for me, the twinkly lights and the little traditions and the exchanging of gifts, that is something that I think can be, I know it can be stressful, and I'm very all too familiar as a single parent with the times when it's like painful because you want to be able to do more. But within all of these layers, I hope we can all just try to focus on the sweetness in the gesture of sharing and showing people that you care about them and you're thinking about them. To this day, my favorite gift I've ever gotten was actually for my birthday, but when my little brother was like, I don't know, he was close to Caspian's age, maybe a little older, like maybe 6 or 7. He made me a gift and he was like, "You're gonna love it. It's so handy." And I was like, "Handy? What is it?" And it was, I still have it, I should go grab it, but a little orange piece of fabric that had been cut like this and then sewed, so it was like a little bag, and it had 2 little strings tied into cut little holes. It was a little bag of orange, made of orange fabric and string, and he was like, "It's a bag / hat." You could put it on your head. It's a bag / hat, and that is so handy. So I guess my like little hallmark thought is, let's just try to soak up the twinkle lights and be kind to one another and remind the people around us that we love them. And this, yeah. All right, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.